Saturdays we have two programs, one on agriculture and one is pure politics. So you are with the Galaxy Equalizers, and we have our brother this morning on the program with us, brother Andal. And we're speaking about geopolitics. Big word, geopolitics. Is basically the situation of how geography, territory, location, resource influence politics and international relation between states and other actors. It involves analyzing the effects of geographical factors on a country's power, foreign policy, and how political goals are pursued through the control of geographical entities on a global scale. Geopolitics is a dynamic field that considers both historical and contemporary power struggle over strategic territories and resources and how these shape global events and alliances. Now, we in Grenada, we like to talk. We like to beat with chest. We like to run with mouth. Grenada is an independent sovereign country. They could tell United States, Russia, China, Ukraine, go to hell. And these countries are independent sovereign countries. They could tell Grenada, we will see you in hell. Studio Galaxy 473 in Confero. Remember the number to call, 536-2558. And we provoke discussion. We have had issues involving the United States request to Grenada, and we have been dodgy, cagey, hiding around, and we failed to discuss it. So welcome to our program this morning, and we have our brother with us, Andal. Our brother,
yes, man.
Geopolitics and the impact on Grenada.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Grenada. Very timely issue, I would say. And you put it well. But I want to start with that word, sovereignty. Because it has been bandied around, wrong and wrong, sovereign country. What is a sovereign country? That's the question today. What is a sovereign country? And I will submit that a sovereign country is one where the people have the power. So the people elect a government to serve them, make decisions for them in the worldwide geopolitical sphere. Now, let's look at Grenada. And, you hear, like I said, this whole word about sovereignty has been bandied around. In the Grenadian context, we can safely say today we are a sovereign country. There's no question about that. But I want to take us back to 1979 and our history where we had a elected government being overthrown by a band of guys with guns. In my view, once that happened, Grenada would have ceased to be a sovereign country because the power no longer lie in the hands of Grenadians. And that's important because you recall when the revolution got all messed up and the Americans came here to rescue us, we had all this talk about, they invade a sovereign country there, this sort of talk. In my mind, at that time, you could not call Grenada a sovereign country. We was ruled by some guys we never elected, we never voted for. They never asked us, do you want us to be your leaders? They never asked us that. So they took decisions on behalf of Grenada. We never had a say. Yes, they might have convinced a few Grenadians to support them. That's true. But did the majority of Grenadians say yes? No. We never had election. So my point is this. In 1983, Grenada was not a sovereign country per se, because the power was not in the hands of Grenadians. And again, the majority of Grenadians. You have to be very careful. Not because you control the weapons and you have Grenadians under manners, you speak for Grenadians. So I want to debunk that so-called fact that in 1983, Grenada was invaded. The sovereignty of Grenada was whatever by the Americans. That's not true.
They lost it in 79.
Eh?
They lost
They lost it in
sovereignty.
79. And unless there was election and Grenadians would have voted in a new government, sovereignty was out the window. It's as simple as that. And we need to be mindful of that. Now, let's take to the present day. We have a country, Venezuela, deciding that, hey, 3/4 of this country they called Guyana belongs to me. Yes, 3/4 of the country belongs to me. But we don't. Did we call Maduro a bully? I don't remember anybody saying he's a bully.
No one did.
No one did.
They don't see him as a bully.
But why not? Why not? Does bully only refer to people on the right? People who have a certain political belief or leaning? What happened to Putin? Is Putin a bully?
No, they don't see him as a bully. You just mash up Ukraine. You say you want to have. I'm out.
It's very strange.
Not a bully.
We're selective in who we call him bully. Oh, Trump is a bully. Okay. But he was elected, eh?
Yeah.
Putin, Maduro.
China with Taiwan.
That's another story again.
No, China is not a bully.
China is not a bully. Why not a bully? Because they have the right political leanings?
Yeah.
It's very strange. Very strange how we choose who we call bully. Somebody take power and they say, "Oh, I'm for the little man, whatever." Say the right words, and guess what? They're not a bully.
5% of the little man they in jail. So we for you.
Yeah. It's amazing. But let's go to the Grenada context. In 1979, most of the bourgeoisie in Grenada supported the revolution.
They did.
You know that?
Yeah.
Why? They was prepared to overthrow an elected government because, guess what?
Gary was kind of
Gary wasn't one of them. He was for the little man. And there is the belief that certain people, either because of the color or the education, is supposed to be the rulers of Grenada.
They don't want the peasants.
No, the peasants you're talking about. They believe that they have a right to rule Grenada. And in truth, in fact, it happens all over the world, You will even notice, listen carefully, you will see that certain sects, certain people believe that somehow, because of their education or their class or whatever it is, that they have the God-given right to be rulers of the land.
Irrespective of the majority of people's decision.
No, that's the point. And this is where, to me, where sovereignty comes in. The majority of the people have to decide that, yes, we want you to be the ruler. You can decide by yourself because you think you're well educated or whatever strata in life you're supposed to rule. It doesn't work so. But for some reason, my friends on the left believe that gives them the right. They have the the knowledge, the whatever it is to be rulers. And come what may, by the bullet or by the ballot, they decide they have to be on top.
More often than not, they can face the ballot.
Well, that's the point.
Always the bullet.
They can win by the ballot because they will say, oh, the person steal the election, they whatever. Oh, sort of thing they throw. And that's the problem. So now we have Maduro. Maduro decided he won 3/4 of Guyana. Just so. Right? And he's going to take it by force. Now, the Caribbean countries belonging to CARICOM, tell me what should be their position. Guyana being a member of CARICOM. What should be the Caribbean countries' position? In my view, it should be a loud no. A loud no. We're standing behind Guyana. And sometimes you got to fight, my friend.
But they could have even taken the position that we respect the international decision of the international court because Guyana is prepared to go to court.
Well, remember, Mr. Maduro
Maduro don't go to court.
ain't bothering with that. He want to take the land by force. And we too weak and timid, or because Maduro was a right-leaning, socialist, whatever it is.
Lean on the left.
Lean on the left. We want to give him a pass. There is time, my friend, if you don't fight, you don't liberate yourself. It's as simple as that. And we could say, yes, we would like the Caribbean to be a zone of peace, but when you have a spoiler, a bully,
You want border island too?
who is intent,
In Dominica.
who is intent of causing trouble, you can stand up to him. And sometimes you need a bigger bully.
Bigger body. Donald Trump.
A bigger bully. That's just the reality. Because you yourself don't have the means. Grenada could say we're sending troops in Guyana to help to stay at the border so that Maduro don't come over the border. No. So sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to go with a bigger bully to save yourself. So Guyana, of course, decided, you know something? The US will be quite willing to support us and defend us. So yes. So why is the rest of the Caribbean who say they support Guyana, yes, don't understand that, listen, it might mean armed conflict. It might mean stationing troops at the border to deter Maduro from attacking Guyana. It's as simple as that.
And Guyana joined the RSS in 2022, you know.
Oh, yes?
The Regional Security Unit in 2022, they joined it.
I didn't even know that.
And they used to get more protection from the US.
Well, exactly so.
And
So-
the Caribbean.
So we standing in Caribbean, we staying here and we beating on our chests and talking about, oh, we don't, you know, Trump is a bully. The United States want to regime change in Venezuela. But let's look at Venezuela. All evidence is that Maduro still the last two elections in Venezuela. Yes? So in the world should be saying this guy is illegitimate.
Yeah.
Yes, he's ruling Venezuela, but basically under the gun. So isn't the people of Venezuela entitled to be free too?
And you have a couple of them well enough in prison.
Isn't the people of Venezuela, you know, brothers and sisters too,
CARICOM.
who also need to be free to choose whoever they want to be their leader? Isn't it? In fact, you know, it's very strange how sometimes we selectively talk about internationalism, brotherhood, you know, whatever, when it suits us. But when it doesn't suit us, we keep very silent. You know, all this wars that were fought, trying to claiming, okay, we got to free our people. They're under imperialism, all the rightism. But isn't the people of Venezuela deserve better, deserve to choose freely who they think should lead the country? Aren't we interested in that? Or we don't care?
CARICOM should be interested.
But there's a bigger picture really, and that's the United Nations. What is happening in the United Nations? Wasn't it supposed to be the body that would enforce what I would call the rule of law throughout the world? You know, when there is conflict, they would be willing to step in and you know, send in fact troops.
Try to bring in
Solutions.
peace and
Yeah.
mediation.
Isn't that what the United Nations is all about? What has happened to them? Nowadays is all about which who you which ism or which
Yes, the United Nations seems to have lost their track a bit on the issues. Yeah. Yeah. The United Nations seem to have lost their track and influence. And that happens sometimes when you don't be objective and fair and seems to appear and you're not able to give justification or explanation for your position. So at least people believe that the position you take is reasonable. Because Maduro definitely has been unreasonable and refused to accept international's decision.
but you don't you get the feeling that there isn't no even any effort to enforce that decision. No effort from, I don't know, whether it's the Security Council or whoever it is. There is no effort to enforce it. It's like for some people, they're not interested. And for others, it's a big deal. Yes, these days we hear all about Israel, Gaza, you know, all this stuff. We support Gaza with this, with that. But there is a lot more going on in the world. And it's not just, you have to be on the, it shouldn't be, really. It shouldn't be which side you're on, left or right. It really shouldn't be. Whenever you get into that situation, then you lose the legitimacy. You don't have you lost the power to even talk. Because it cannot be left or right. It have to be right or wrong, regardless of which side you're on. And this is the problem I find generally, is that we all quick to take sides. We all quick to take sides. So the US asking to put a radar in Grenada. And everybody, sorry, I shouldn't say everybody. The usual suspects.
Yeah, they use the left,
The usual suspect
left inclined.
is on all kind of talk
Jumping
show and all kind of thing. Jumping up. No Grenada in nobody backyard. You know? Grenada, like it or not, we are in the American backyard.
Well, if it's not the backyard, it's the front yard.
Like it or not. And the question is, who do we rather support or align ourselves with? Who do we rather do that? With the USSR? With Maduro? Really? Or the USA? Where our people in Grenada immigrate to, go, work, build themselves, send back money in Grenada. You know, I heard some of our people, as I would say, talking about how much help Venezuela give to Grenada. Well, whatever help it is, are we not going to sell our soul or morale because we get help from a country? Is that what we're saying? That because they help us, we cannot now say, no, you're wrong. We are against what you want to do. We're standing up with Guyana. Is it that we lost our morals? We cannot now say that to Venezuela? I'm missing the point because I'm hearing the talk, Venezuela give us houses, they give us free school feeding program, supported it. And I'm saying, okay, that might be so, but does that mean because they help us, we now tie our mouth so we cannot say, listen, what you're doing there is wrong. We don't support that. You understand me? We standing with Guyana, and if we had to fight, we fighting with Guyana because you cannot just decide you want to take 3/4 of Guyana. It doesn't work that way. So I don't know how we could, loudly. I don't get the right word. just keep expatiating and saying, "Oh, Venezuela do so much for Grenada and Grenada." Okay, we have a quarrel with Venezuela because Venezuela want to take over 3/4 of Guyana, so we have an issue with them. Sometimes we have to know who we supporting. Yes, and in this context, we have to support Guyana. There's no question about it, and our support don't have to just be, a little word here and there. We have to affirm our firm support for Guyana, and to me, along here, well, we appreciate Guyana position, and we understand. No. You have to be more than that. You have to be. We're not a country that part of our what do you say our
CARICOM territory.
Yes, you have to. The support has to be more than just.
You have to be firm. You have to be well placed.
It cannot be a couple good words. Yeah, we understand your situation, and no.
And CARICOM missed an opportunity to say we support Guyana on this issue, and we respect the fact that let us go to the international court and respect the decision.
But
as Guyana was willing to go to court.
But wasn't that done already?
And we don't to accept the decision in the court. So CARICOM failed us there.
And we are afraid because Venezuela has helped us in the past. We are afraid to say, hello, boss. No. You're going too far. And we are willing to stand with Guyana. And stand there had to be more than just words.
You had to be firm. Well, Guyana is part of RSS, the Regional Security Unit. And all of them know Guyana joined it in 2022. And they know the reason Guyana joined. And they didn't object. And RSS is managed, controlled, and trained by the U.S.
But why should they object?
I member CARICOM.
Why should they object? Yeah. Huh? Guyana has been... Okay, so Guyana has been almost in the forefront of... Remember we just talk about politics, about feeding the Caribbean?
Yeah, Guyana has been in the forefront of Caribbean. She even invited CARICOM countries to buy land in Guyana to grow food.
Yeah. Exactly so.
Guyana is an exporter of rice and other things to the Caribbean.
So Guyana has been, in my mind, a true
friend and supporter
yes.
of CARICOM countries.
Yes.
From day one.
Yes. And
remember the days of BG planting?
And now we wobbling in our support.
And the whole of Mackenzie, Linden,
we wobbling.
Is made up of Grenadian, Lucian, Bajan, Vinci. The whole of that area. Linda.
We ain't so sure, what we should do. Really?
That's why when you say pie, all you know is trouble.
Really?
All the time, Guyana giving us full form support.
But we're not sure. We're not sure how far. Well, we want the Caribbean zone of peace, but we have a bully in the Caribbean,
Venezuela.
Venezuela, and we afraid or whatever the reason, we're not willing to say, hey, bully.
And they only want a zone of peace because they don't want US. They want Venezuela and Russia.
So they prepared to let the bully Maduro do what he want. Yes? But because the US, the imperialist USA, yes, who prepared to help Guyana. No. That's we don't want that. We don't want that.
I think it's unfortunate.
Grenada, sometimes in life, you have to take sides. That's just the reality.
Geopolitics.
You have to take sides. Sometimes in life, you have to take sides. Well, you could choose not to take sides. You could choose not to, I suppose. But the reality is that you might find yourself in a position where you get squeezed, and then you complain that, well, I didn't take sides, but here am I now getting squeezed.
Look at Switzerland and Finland. They was neutral in World War II. Switzerland was neutral. Now they join the EU. One for all.
And
you touch one, you
and
touch
they,
all.
and they join NATO.
They join NATO.
Why?
They realize this did nothing inside look dangerous.
Exactly.
Geopolitics.
Exactly so. You might just get run over. So sometimes you have to take sides. So Grenada to decide here and now, okay, are we going to take this side or that side? Is it in our interest to take this side or the other side? Or just remain in the center, I suppose? I think Caribbean countries need to stand up.
Review the position. Wake up, review position, inform your people.
They need to stand up and be counted. I know there is all this talk about our friend in Trinidad,
Pamela,
Camela.
I think she did the right thing. Yeah. Supporter. In full support of Pamela. Yeah.
Countries have to make decisions as to where their interest lies. Yes? They have to. And yeah. Now look at Cuba. Right? Who is suffering in Cuba?
People.
Those guys at the top or the people? So it's okay to say, beat your chest and say whatever. But who is feeling the pain? You think the Cuban people really voted for that? You think if they have a choice to vote, even now, what would they vote for? For this continued pain or for a change of leadership? I would submit that the Cuban people, if given a choice, they would not choose this continued pain.
After 60 years, thousands.
They wouldn't choose this continued pain. The pain of the Cuban people is being inflicted on them by their own government. They have chosen that path. And it's nice probably to say, well, we stand up to the Americans with this and with that. But when you have your people suffering, it's a hollow victory. It's a hollow victory. Really, really hollow. The people, if people give them a choice, I'm telling you, people will always choose what's best for
Well,
them.
after 60 years of the Cuban experience, and you have thousands of Cubans in jail because they differ with you, what kind of system is that? Yes, you provide some scholarships and medical health assistance to other countries in the Caribbean to propagate your left-wing ideology because it was backed by Russia. But thousands of Cubans in jail.
And that's what we have to look at, is what is it costing the Cuban people. Forget the government. Because they're nice. They're living good. They're not facing necessity of anything. You know? You always take me back to that book, Animal Farm.
Paxton.
And I don't know how come that book has been somehow removed from the curriculum in Grenada. It used to be in the curriculum in Grenada, as a literature book. Yeah, you know that, right? It's been interesting to know when was that book removed. If it was during the revolution, because that book exposes the hypocrisy of that socialist communist system.
It has failed all over the world. It has failed.
But you know what? We are not teaching our young ones the danger of communism, socialism, whatever you're going to call it.
Communism,
We are
Marxism.
not teaching our young one the danger of it. So there is still this I don't know, romance. This belief that this utopian system could work and could is the best for people. We need that book to be back into the school system, so people could understand, children could understand that whole stupidity about communism. Yes.
We have not been discussing those geopolitical issues at all. We sit down and we condemn the United States, but China, a major feature of the People's Republic of China geopolitics, is attempting to change the laws of the sea to advance claims in the South China Sea. Another geopolitical issue is the PRC claim over the territories of Taiwan against the government.
But let's take a deeper look into that. Look at Taiwan. The people of Taiwan determine in free and fair election who their leaders are. They also determine that they don't want to be part of communist China. Yet still, China has decided that
it must be.
that this island there, we want it. It belongs to us. Does the island belong to the government of China? I don't get it. The people who live on the island say, we don't want to be part of you. But you are saying, hey, you're part of us. Really? But we those are the issues that I would say, let me get it right. The West, or the democratically free countries of the world, are silent on. They are almost afraid to talk. We're almost afraid to speak about it.
And even in the Caribbean, the politicos in the Caribbean not speaking about that.
No, because guess what?
It's not in their interest.
Guess what? You know how many countries in the Caribbean has decided to change the
Allegiance with China.
Yes, they decided that they don't want to be aligned to Taiwan anymore, but with China. Granted, there's a couple that still remain strong.
St. Vincent,
One of them,
St. Lucia.
yes, one of the two of them. But the majority, including
Yeah,
Grenada,
including Grenada, we
decided
move over
that we want to be aligned with the communist
because
China.
of the financial assistance and gains.
So
Nothing
guess
to
what?
do with morality
Exactly so.
or what is right. or wrong.
They buy, literally buy our vote.
And that's geopolitics too.
But we're quite comfortable with that,
We're
right?
comfortable with that.
That they could buy our vote. Really? You see, to me, if you're going to have morality, you're either going to stand up.
You have to be
what is
consistent.
right. Yes. It cannot be what is convenient. You have to be what is right. If you're going to speak morality, you have to be what is right. Cannot be what is convenient. And this is where I have a real issue with this whole thing. You know, whatever certain countries could, do certain things, and it's okay. It can be. So we cannot sell our birthright to China. Yeah, literally. That's what we did.
Yeah, we sell our soul.
Yeah, we did.
And China plan is 1,000 years. So when they come here, they spend 25 years here to pretend they can speak English.
Listen, if we don't, if Grenada don't get the act together, Grenada, I'm talking about Grenada, nowhere else. If Grenada don't get the act together, Grenada need to, and our experience has been different to a lot of Caribbean countries. Yeah, because we have had the experience of
We
the
have ideas.
revolution.
If you touch Cuba,
Yeah.
you touch Nicaragua, you touch Grenada. We have had that experience.
That nonsense.
Beating with
That's
chest.
nonsense.
AK speaking
That's
Spanish.
nonsense. That
You can
nonsense.
understand it.
That nonsense.
Cover
That nonsense. You know?
Mother hen and yard fowl. Very derogative, demeaning, and fractious.
And we keep doing that. We keep saying that. And I'm saying to myself, okay, well, you want to call America all kind of name. All kind of name you could find. Yes? But guess what? You still want to send your people there.
You're not sending your people to China and Russia and Cuba and Venezuela.
No. Not sending. All people not going there.
You're going there. You're going to America.
Yeah?
And we
But you want to call them all kind of worst name you could find.
propagate a love-hate relationship with America.
But you want to send your people there.
Your economy is dependent on their gratis.
If Trump tomorrow say, okay, guess what? We're not issuing no visas to Grenadians.
Or maybe
You'll head your bro.
maybe like Cuba, he put 30% tax on the dollar coming to Grenada.
You will head your bro. So why can't we understand where our allegiance should be? This is not selling your morality. No, it's not. It's a simple of look. This is where benefits will come from, not from.
We have a caller on the line. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, Mr. Pierre, how you doing, my brother?
Great, my brother. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Pierre, the Prime Minister you have there, he did the same thing when he went in Venezuela. He just didn't beat his stomach,
He put on the clothes.
When you go and pose, when you go and pose with this guy and with sporting Venezuela flag, he just didn't beat his chest and say, if you touch Venezuela, he touch Grenada. Well, anyhow, the loaded captain for him. But it seems like Mr. Pierre, he's going to call the election before he make a decision.
With all
He
this,
ain't nothing from me.
he ain't calling, with all this money they're getting there, they ain't calling no election.
Yeah, but up to now, whether he make a decision,
He make a decision already just to tell Trump he going against it. He support him, Ralph Gonzalez.
Mr. Pierre, what I seen in Grenada now? I seen an NDC music with an RMC arrangement.
Well, you seem to be on the right track.
NDC music with RMC arrangement. That is what happened there, all right? Okay.
Not cute.
All right, my brother, hold it down, man.
I like the terminology.
Yes.
NDC music with RMC arrangement. He's amazing. I like
Anybody who was in Grenada when the RMC took over. How you call them? Is it RMC?
RMC.
Yeah. And said to your face now that they wasn't happy when the Americans came here. I could tell you they are lying.
Or you'd have one or two people that was not happy. Those
Like who?
Codites. Bernard Code and
The only
Ewart
people
Lane
who wasn't happy was the RMC and their cohorts.
few of them. Yeah.
The
Wasn't
cohort.
much.
That little group.
The execution group.
The execution group. They was the only one who wasn't happy.
Yeah, the execution.
But all who were supporting
I think
Morris Bishop,
Hudson Austin and all perhaps was happy.
you think he was happy?
Yeah, man, they killed Hudson.
No. Hudson
When they bring
was under the gun.
when they bring the thing for Hudson to Hudson said he was making up his mind, you know. They bust open the door and they go inside, they send some to negotiate with him. The real group come there, just say, read that man, and they crack the gun. When Hudson read the thing, the first time he see, that's why he say coffee. First time he see, they say read. Because he didn't make up his mind which side
he was lean to.
Yeah.
So, like I say, anyone at that time in Grenada who wasn't happy that the American came and liberated Grenada, my friend, would be lying.
Yeah, it's basically the small group of those that did the execution. Those under the command, the strong group of individuals at the central committee that wanted to execute Morris Bishop long.
We have this thing where we drunk in and a man lend a hand. And as soon as we come sure, we didn't really drunk in, man. You know?
Well, there was a way
could
of
have swim.
there was a way of the fact too that Morris Bishop evoked the Angola option. And if they didn't get rid of Morris Bishop,
What was the Angola action again?
this is
Tell us.
one I want Peter David answer publicly. I want Peter David explain to the public the impact of the Angola option. Because they claim he was his principle is principally a lack of joint leadership. But when Morris Bishop come out in Cuba, because he agreed with joint leadership, you know, but Castro tell him to accept the stupidness. So he changed his mind. So Morris Bishop, they was worried that Morris Bishop evoked the Angola option. They say execute him. Even when Jack and Kirk showed them their belly, they showed no compassion. And this is the format of the left. Because there are no election. They higher than the judiciary. There are no peacemakers there. When you cross them, you die or you go in jail.
And this is what I don't understand. How we can support that kind of system. You know? How Grenadians in their right mind. It's possible that the bourgeoisie didn't redefine print when they supported the revolution.
They hated Gary too much.
You mean
They just wanted Gary out.
I understand that, and so they didn't care what they was bringing up on themselves.
No, they didn't know and they didn't care, they didn't believe.
Did they not know, or like I say, or they didn't redefine print?
Well, they
Did
didn't
they not know?
They preoccupy with hate. You can't read fine print when you preoccupy with hate.
Okay,
They don't think clearly.
That is possible.
They
That is possible
preoccupy with hate.
because you notice how much
and
of them,
vengeance.
how much of them went to jail.
Of course. When they jailed Dr. Japal, they said the conscience of the revolution died. And when Nayak went to Gary, when Nayak went and plead with Bishop tell him the next time you come back by me with this stupidness, you're going up in the hill. Nayak plead himself in front of Bishop. And Nayak was one of the petty bourgeoisie, one of the big financiers of Bishop.
Talking about eating your own, right? Eating your own.
What they did with one of them doctors, rape his wife in front of him. What a brutality happening going on.
That we're not talking about, right? That put under the rug.
This
and
is the
cover.
left. People have to understand. This is the left. They put some women on the back and they walk on the back. I want this schoolboy on the other hand, but they tell me schoolboy very sick. I might.
Who is schoolboy?
There was one from Victoria.
Okay.
The general.
Okay.
Those guys had lost any sense of justice with compassion.
But this is the same people
So
today.
become fried.
They are the same people today who are preaching for us.
But there is a resurrection of the extreme. You heard the guy say NDC music with RMC arrangement. I like that one. Yeah.
A long time we don't get a nice
Yes.
NDC music with RMC arrangement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
During the election, there was a lot of discussion about NDC leadership. And a guy who normally just, you have guys around rum shop, they hardly say anything. He said NDC don't have a leadership problem. Everybody stop talking again. He said the problem they have is referees. Everybody watching him. He said every issue, nobody to settle it. And that was an individual that hardly ever speak. They just stay wrong shop. And this guy called it, he said it's NDC music. With
RMC arrangement.
And even we go to Russia on the same thing with geopolitics. Ukraine gave up their nuclear weapon. I think it was in 2005 or something. They gave up the nuclear weapon to Russia. The Americans and the British, acting against the proliferation of nuclear weapon, encouraged Ukraine to give up the nuclear weapon. They give it up to Russia. And the American, the British, and the Russians signed to protect Russia. Now, Ukraine is an independent, sovereign country like Grenada.
Good.
But Russia say you cannot join Europe.
Yeah. Right.
Ukraine is an independent, sovereign country. None of the Caribbean islands open their mouth and support Ukraine.
Nope.
They support Russia because they are left inclined. Grenada is an independent, sovereign country. They could tell the US, go to hell. Go and tell them, go to hell. You St. George's University contribute 20+% of the GDP. You're jumping up about CBI program, you make $1 billion from it. US gratis, US. All your people in Grenada want to go in US and Europe and etc. and Kings County Hospital for free medical care. You tourist market is the US. You cocoa, you and your nutmeg is Europe and the US. You fish and you salsa. You are the only country in the region that could export salsa. You beat in your chest.
And you still don't know where your loyalty should lie.
And your geopolitical relationship based upon the vulnerability of your economic consequences. According to the economists now. You say what context? I think we have to have discussion on these things more.
Yeah. And you still don't know where your loyalty should lie.
You hate the United States.
Listen,
Hold
on. Stop this. Let me tell you something. You don't remember, I start with sovereignty. Grenadians don't hate the United States. Let's get that clear. All right? Grenadians, don't worry all the puff and puff. Grenadians do not hate the United States of America. They don't. There's a few Grenadians who have been brainwashed with this leftist, Marxist, communist thing, who always beating their chest. Loud, some of them who get jailed in the US for gun running, beating their chest about the worst country in the world, in their mind. the U.S. But the Grenadians as a whole, if you take a poll in Grenada, Grenadians don't hate the U.S. Boss, don't worry, don't get fooled by this.
Well, all our communists in America, ain't it? How much communists in Grenada? All the
They all
Grenadians communists is a paradox.
It's amazing. After the revolution,
All
the
the
mess of the
communists-
revolution, guess where all them went?
They go rescue in the United States. Say, come on!
The
You
same
have to turn back
country
the revolution.
you're balling murder,
God, you're a CIA agent.
but they all gone there.
All the comrades leave me in Grenada here. And they gone in US.
Yes, it's amazing.
They leave Kenny Lansing here. They jail Kenny Lansing. Instead of Kenny Lansing running, they run and they go in the United States. You know.
So don't let this hogwash make pretend as if Grenadians don't like the US. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's the biggest lie. That's the biggest lie. Don't let this nonsense.
But all the communists like the United States more than the ordinary man. Because they never went to Cuba. They don't go in Venezuela.
Nope.
They never go in Russia
They
or
didn't go in
China.
Russia. They didn't go in wherever.
They don't even go in
Bulgaria,
Colombia, you know.
whatever.
They make for the United States of America. And the United States of America now cussing Donald Trump.
No, you're causing the US. It's like just stop
Paradox.
it. Stop this nonsense. Stop this. No, like I say, it's not Grenadians. It's a few.
But we
It's a
have
few who get
we
the.
have permitted them to speak without challenging them.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, and it's the first
That's
time
it.
some of them get
That's
challenged
it.
and they start to hide it
That's it. We have permit them to speak without
without
challenging them. You understand me?
Give us communism as a utopia. When the Berlin Wall fall, which side the people run to? All the communists run on the western side.
Oh yeah.
That's what hold them back and say, oh God, we got to develop
Yeah,
the country there.
Yeah. And it's always the same all over the world. It's the same thing.
47,000 Venezuelan gone in Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
Including some
And,
Pamela says
that might be a small number.
But we've been pretty
And the rest gone to the US.
800 and something thousand in the United States. United States say they open the mental institute and the prison. Trump say he has some criminals in it. Well, he must have. The criminals run into. While Maduro have people in jail. China have millions of people in concentration camp. Over 1 million Muslims in concentration camp.
But we're not talking about it.
Including Falun Gong and the Uja people.
But we're not talking about it. We don't care. We don't care. They're not human beings. They don't have no human rights. We don't care about them.
Guyana do have political prisoners. Barbados do have political prisoners. When you do have political prisoners in Grenada, they don't get the power. If they get the power, they're jailing us again.
Yes.
And
Of
Kenny,
course.
And Kenny going back in jail
Of
again
course.
too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Give them a chance. The same people talking freedom
They're
now.
jailing us.
Jailing us. It's amazing how the only time human rights apply is when it's their human rights.
I think they have had a free run without challenge.
Yes. And Grenadians who know better need to come out and
challenge
speak.
them.
Challenge this silly idea. What's going on, because you hear all this. And your good friend from the New Political Party, what's his name? Peter David.
Peter is a front Peter is a front for Iwatlin. I think Iwatlin is the true master of the party. Peter is just a front. Peter hide away from all controversial issues. I never see a leader hiding so.
Well, he finally come out now.
Lane, well, they push him out.
Well, no, he's one of those, preaching now about the great Satan, the US.
The US.
And,
So we're heading for more confrontation with the US.
we need to stop this thing.
Well,
we need to stop this.
We're going to pay the price.
We need to
if we don't
need to stop this thing. We need to stop. There's some other commentators that's talking about, well, if Grenada take a sudden decision, they don't have to face no consequences because they're a sovereign country. And I'm saying we keep going to this nonsense of a sovereign country.
That is why I said Grenada could tell you United States go to hell. You are
But there is
United
always
States could tell Grenada
consequences.
we will see you in hell.
Yeah, there's always consequences.
Of course.
Just
United States put 30% tax on I always get this remittance. Remittance coming to Grenada. United States put up I remember I was in Jamaica many years ago when the United States had a communique advising their tourists to be careful in Jamaica because of violence.
right.
They gave us one piece of security. About 6 of us going with the institution boss to a party. And we had police riders, they blocking traffic for us to go. And after in a discussion, we was so upset. Because imagine, it was a conference, and they had some people from Europe, etc. The government wasn't blocking because of us. It just happened.
Okay.
They didn't want anything happen to one of these European Americans. The police outriders, about 6 of us in a bus, and they blocking traffic. So let Grenada continue beating the chest. If you touch Nicaragua, you touch Cuba, you touch Grenada, and we are a sovereign country.
That's just silly. That's just silly, childish talk.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. The pettiest child, who feel entitled, whatever it is. But like I say, we need to the real Grenadians need to come out. The real Grenadians need to push back at this communist socialist stuff that they keep trying to push down our throat. They're trying to tell us that it's good for us. And we know it is not good for us. We rejected it. It is not good for us. This is why they're trying to now again get back into power.
By the hook or by the crook?
On the backside.
Of course.
On the backside. But we are in it. We know the history. Grenadians, we know the history. Grenadians, remember your history. And we need to teach our young ones the history of Grenada. This is, to me, it's a real failing. We need to teach them the morals of animal farm. Unless we do, we will be doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past.
That's a good term to, as we end the program. Mm-hmm. We're doomed to come back to the mistakes of the past.
Yeah. When you forget your history, or you don't know your history, or you don't teach your history, you're doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past.
Well, we want to thank you again for being with us on this program, Pure Politics, and we want to thank our brother Andal, who was. I hope you become a regular feature on it. Anytime you want,
anytime
you could just jump in. You don't need no invitation.
Okay.
Whether it's agriculture or Pure Politics, we encourage you to subscribe. Remember, we provoke discussion. Don't fear discussion. Let us discuss the issues. Thank you very much.
Suggestions encourage them all to walk the straight and narrow in the land. Politics, religion, and economic issue, regional, international, spiritual issues too.